from world champion to prisoner, from millionaire to bankrupt. Ronaldinho's shocking descent is unlike any other. How did one of the most iconic footballers in history go from global superstar to using a fake passport just to cross a border? Imagine being one of the world's most famous athletes, worth $90 million, then waking up one day with only $7 in your bank account. That's the reality Ronaldinho faced. Yeah, the same guy who had the whole world mesmerized with his insane football skills. But it gets crazier. After his career fell apart, Ronaldinho ended up in jail for trying to enter Paraguay with a fake passport. Yep, a fake passport. And it's even weirder because he didn't even need one to travel there. So how does a football legend end up here? Well, buckle up, because this story is wild. Okay, so the passport scandal is bizarre, but behind the scenes, Ronaldinho's life was already in free fall. I mean, this guy was on top of the world, earning hundreds of thousands every week, but thanks to wild spending, ignoring huge legal fines, and just plain bad decisions, Ronaldinho was headed for financial disaster. At one point, he owned 57 properties. Yeah, you heard that right. But his carelessness ended up costing him nearly everything. Stick around, because coming up, we're gonna dive into how Ronaldinho's $90 million fortune practically vanished, leading to bankruptcy and seizure of all his properties. But losing all that money was just the beginning. Things got even worse when Ronaldinho made the mind-boggling decision to use a fake passport to enter Paraguay. I know what you're thinking. Why would a world-famous footballer need a fake passport? Well, he didn't. Brazilians can enter Paraguay with just their ID. But for some reason, Ronaldinho and his brother decided to roll the dice with fake documents. Obviously, he got caught. You won't believe what happens next. While in prison, Ronaldinho became the star of a prison football tournament, and prisoners were literally fighting over who would get him on their team. More on that in a minute. Now, before all the financial chaos and legal drama, Ronaldinho's career was already on a downward spiral. Sure, he was an absolute beast on the field, but off it? The guy loved to party. He was known for staying out late, hitting clubs, and honestly, skipping training sessions. In fact, he even got a clause in his contract that allowed him to party 2 nights a week. Yeah, that was a real thing. Teammates have said he barely trained. He'd just show up for the game on Saturday. No practice, no preparation, and as you can guess, his form started to tank. His injuries piled up, he gained weight, and by the end of his career, he couldn't even make the Brazilian World Cup team. Coming up, we'll look at how Ronaldinho went from being one of the most feared players on the planet to missing out on the World Cup, an unthinkable low for a player of his caliber. After his career was over, Ronaldinho tried to rebuild his fortune. But instead of making smart investments, he jumped into cryptocurrency, launching something called the Ronaldinho Soccer Coin. Spoiler alert, it was a total flop. I mean, it had 61 followers on Instagram, not exactly the next Bitcoin. Not long after, Ronaldinho got involved in a $61 million crypto scam. He claimed he didn't know about it and that his name was being used without his permission, but there are literal photos of him promoting the project. Not a good look. You won't want to miss this. We'll dive deeper into how Ronaldinho's name got tied to one of the biggest crypto scams in recent history and the legal mess that followed. Despite all of this, bankruptcy, jail time, shady crypto deals, Ronaldinho somehow seems to be bouncing back. Photos have surfaced of him flying on private jets, living the good life again. It's like no matter how many times he falls, he always finds a way to land on his feet. But has he really rebuilt his life? Or is this just another illusion? Can Ronaldinho truly redeem himself after everything he's been through? Make sure you stick around until the end, because we're going to break down what's next for Ronaldinho and whether this comeback is real, or if it's just another chapter in his roller coaster of a life.